Steve Jewin, MMA Mania.
Emmanuel, you're on with Steve Jewin of MMA Mania.
El Matador, Emmanuel Sanchez. Thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for the interview, sir. I appreciate it more.
Oh, I always appreciate it when we talk because you're always fun to talk to and you've got a lot of great things going on, like this big fight you have coming up with Daniel Straus. But let me start by congratulating you on your last win over Marcos Galvão. How satisfying was it to beat a former champion who came up in weight to your weight?
It was very, very satisfying. It was obviously other things that led into it I wasn't happy with, but it's living and learning, man. You gotta forget the past and look always towards the future and towards the better. You know what I mean? Mistakes were made, but now I've learned from those mistakes. Sometimes there's always just blessings in disguise. Of not fighting 100%, not being able to get yourself, the finish that you want. But now I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm just hitting my prime, and I'm just scratching the surface of my potential. And I can't wait to showcase my skills and be as strong as I am now next Friday night against Daniel Straus.
Well, I may have been sidestepping a little bit when I said that, it was a great fight with him coming up in your weight, but you alluded to it already by saying mistakes were made. So I'm assuming by you saying that, you're saying this won't be a catchweight fight coming up next Friday.
Yeah, hell no, absolutely not. I'm about, just 9 away now, so, and I'm healthy. I've had to learn about my body. I've realized, the mistakes I've made, and the older I get, it's, obviously more work to get to your weight, and it's learning from it. Got to take it with a grain of salt. I suffered the consequences from it, and now onward and upward.
Does it also involve getting a nutritionist? Is it a dietary change? Is it just longer, more physical workouts, or is it all of the above?
All of the above. My nutritionist is actually my girlfriend now, too. So,
wow.
That's my advice to all guys out there. Yeah, get yourself a girl nutritionist if you're going to fight, because, I listen to her like she's the boss, as a captain, almost like just one of my coaches, I just let it be like, okay, yes, it's not what I want or what I think, it's whatever they say, she says goes, and just like how I listen to my coaches in that same way. And it's working out terrific, man. It's for me, it's changing the whole mindset, the old school way of thinking, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cut, or I got this much to go, or whatever. It's a lifestyle. For one, it's a way of being nourished. So eating myself all the way up into the scale, not in any way, shape, or form am I being unnourished or am I being unhealthy, unfit to fight. Because you've seen that many times, where guys, they get to fight week and then they get sick. We just saw it with Ray Borg. Just guys got, they get health issues trying to cut a substantial amount of weight, and they got to pull out. Their bodies shut down on them. So thankfully that's never happened to me, and I never wanted to. So I always make sure that I'm healthy and fit to fight.
Now, with this change in your approach to fighting, does it mean that you're closer to a natural weight for being in the weight class then, or does it mean that you've had to give up a little muscle to be able to be leaner?
I think, complete body composition is what I've went through. So, I actually put on just a little bit of more muscle, because I needed that, burn more calories throughout the day. Muscle burns fat, so I put on just a little bit of more muscle and got myself more cardio. Now that, I'm completely healthy, running is a big thing. I'm a runner. I know if I can't run in preparation for a fight, then, what other ways can I do cardio to get myself down? And I do my best, but running is definitely my thing. Even approaching fight week, running is my way to get my weight off. So now that I've been able to, run and run damn good, now and be so light on my feet out there, it's going to look way better than any other time you've seen me.
Hey, just want to ask you something. As a guy who just recently got a Fitbit, do you use it to keep track of your miles and how much you've run?
I've actually never used a Fitbit. My girl does or has, but I've thinking about it because sometimes I always just wonder, hey, I wonder where, I honestly just Google Maps it. I'm like, So I ran over there and I ran back. And I just Google Maps to see how far it was, you know. Or sometimes, you know, I'll have my days where I'm like, okay, I'll go to the track, get my miles, or I'll go to this spot, check how far it was. Or sometimes I just say, hey, I'm just going to run for a half an hour straight, 45 minutes straight, you know, at a light pace. Or, you know, I like to switch it up. I like to do sprints too. So it's like, all right, I'll do a mile and a half, but I'm busting out 10 sprints afterwards, you know. So it's always something different.
It sounds like you've got it pretty well planned. It all works out when you measure the miles, whether it's with a computer device or whether you just do it by looking at Google Maps or just knowing how long you ran. You've got the plan.
Yeah, normally just knowing how long I ran, depending on how my practice goes throughout the day too. You know, I do, you know, wake up early like Tyson, or stay up late and go run. You know what I mean? No one wants to run at that hour, but I know I have that edge that my opponent isn't doing that. But I just right after my pro practice or a pad session or whatever, you know, I had on the agenda for a training day. I'm just like, okay, how far are we running today? I'm feeling kind of, yeah, all right, let's just do 2 miles, you know, with the guys that I run with or myself. Or, hey, okay, we got a light day. All right, well, let's run some more miles today. You know, we'll pick up the pace towards the end.
Well, you'll definitely want cardio going in there against Daniel Straus, because your opponent, and you mentioned him already, he's another former champion. It seems like that's all you face anymore.
Yeah, you know, I'm just, that's who I want to be, the legend slayer, the former champion slayer. You know, I'll fight them all. You know, it's like Pokemon. You got to go out there and catch them all to be a Pokemon master, right? So to be the best, you got to go out and take out the best. You know, how can I say, oh, I'm the best. I'm the best in the division. I'm the best in the world if I'm not facing the best in the world? You know?
It's obviously a position you want to be in, to slay the best, to be the best, and catch them all when they're coming off a loss and looking like they're at the right time to be hit. But at the same time, Daniel Straus is going to be thinking the same thing. He's like, man, if I got to get back on top, if I want a 5th fight with Patricio Freire, there's only one way to do it, and beat a guy that's on a roll like Emmaneul Sanchez.
Yeah.
Where does he match up with you best?
I think he's strong everywhere, you know, with, yeah, obviously look at him, you know, former champion, won belts, won gold, has wars with Patricio Pitbull, with Pat Curran, and, you know, has been dominating the division for years and years now. You know, this is, you know, man, one of my toughest fights. They're all my toughest fights. You know, this guy is a killer. He's a murderer. So I see him as dangerous everywhere, you know, on the ground, standing. He's a total package, you know. He's got over 30 professional fights, so he's got a lot of experience as well. So, you know, I'm on top of my P's and Q's, man, in all areas of martial arts, to go out there and think like, oh, yeah, of course I'm looking for the knockout, I'm looking for the submission, I'm looking for the finish, the TKO, but I also know the ferocity that he brings, everything that he brings to the table. So I'm not going to get careless, reckless. You know, I got to go out there and fight my fight at my pace and make him dance my dance, and bring him with my rhythm, my speed, my will, and go out there and put him away.
Do you think there's a chance that size-wise you already have that natural advantage on him, not just with the proper conditioning and the great plan that you have going into the fight to not be reckless and be smart, but that with the 1 inch in height and 3 inches in reach that you have on him, that you've already got that edge?
You know, you're not the first interviewer to mention that to me. You know, we've been in the locker room together, and so we stood next to each other, and I don't, you know, if size mattered, the elephant would be the king of the jungle, you know what I mean? So I come from jiu-jitsu, so I know size, you know, it don't matter, man. Reach, you could have a really long reach but not know how to use it, man. There's so many guys in MMA, you know, like that, who super tall, yet they fight like they train with Team Alpha now or something, you know what I mean? Like they fight like they're 5'5" or something.
Right.
But
like Stefan Struve, that guy has all the height and reach in the world and can't use it.
Perfect example. I didn't want to say it, but yes, exactly. Perfect example, you know. You got the best reach and height advantage in the world. You don't know how to use it. So for me, you know, it's, fighting them at, of course, keeping them at the end of my reach and using that. But, I don't know. I think he fights long, comes forward. I'll be able to keep him away at bay, and I'll be able to come in. I'll be able to do whatever I want to do. He might not know if I'm the one who wants to come and fight on the inside of the gym, or stay long, or play both. I'm like an accordion. I'm in and I'm out. I'm sticking. I'm moving. I'm zigging. I'm zagging. Slow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I can fight everywhere.
Right, and you can quote Muhammad Ali too.
All day, every day.
Yeah. Well, you're in a camp with a lot of guys who have the gift of gab. So how are things at Duke Rufus Sport right now? How's the whole team doing?
Man, we're doing fabulous. You know what I mean? We're almost, going to be, what's October? 7 months into the year. 7 months to the number one team, in MMA right now running. So, and that's going to continue on for the rest of the year, man. I guarantee it. We got so many guys at the highest level that I get to train with and learn from. Not just, obviously the Pettis brothers, but you see Tyron Woodley, you see Paul Felder. We just recently had John McDessie come in. It's incredible, man, that we have so many different guys with their styles, their disciplines, their backgrounds, and all their experience in MMA that I get to learn from and be around, So being all around all this greatness, you can't help but to be great as well. You are who you surround yourself with. So it's really great that I have all these people that I get to learn from and train with, and not just, of course, in martial arts, but also about life. So I'm very ecstatic, and it's something great that I get to use for myself in my life.
Well, speaking of guys with the gift of gab, Paul Felder is one of those guys that I was thinking of, and we've seen him have some success in commentary for live fights and on Tuesday night fights. So what do you think of his transitional role that he's be able to do this so successfully?
I think it's amazing. I'm very happy for Paul. He not many people know this, but yeah, he went to acting school. That's what he went to college for. And that's how I think he got his degree in that, and that's why he can commentate. So very well spoken, and he loves to throw down. So whether it be on any enemy territory, like in Scotland or Ireland, wherever he goes, he can throw down, man. I like Paul a lot. Paul, he's crazy, man. Crazy Irishman, that's for sure. Big time. He's just one of those guys. He loves to fight. So, and that's awesome. And he brings that same intensity with him when he trains. So I'm like, all right, yeah, when someone brings that same intensity, you can't help but to want to bring it back. So it's awesome getting to train with Paul.
Well, I feel like intensity is the El Matador's hallmark, because in your interviews, in your post-fight interviews, and in your fights, it seems like you've got intensity at all times.
It. Pre-fight, post-fight, during the fight, all of the above, man. I'm just from start to finish.
Have you already started rehearsing your victory speech when you beat Daniel Straus? Do you have anything in mind you want to say?
Oh, yeah, both pre and post, man. I can't wait to surprise the world and shock the world. That's it, man. You have to wait and see. It's a surprise. Can't spoil the surprise.
No, I don't want you to spoil the surprise, but I assume that calling out Pitbull would be part of it.
Yeah, of course, Pitbull and Vital going at it again the month right after us. So, I'll have my eyes close on that one. There's a lot of tough guys in the division, and short of Pitbull's the only one I haven't faced. You look at Curran, Straus, and Pitbull. They're the top ones, and Vital, is there as well. But Vital and Straus haven't faced each other. But other than that, we've all been in the mix of who's faced who. You throw Georgie in there too, but.
And that leads me to one more question as we wrap this up. If something happened to Vital before that fight and you came out of this one clean as a whistle, would you take a short notice fight and step in?
Oh, yeah, man, you better believe it. It's that's the opportunity of a lifetime. Everyone always says, "Oh, you're ready. Can you do this?" We're MMA fighters. We don't have an off season. We're not, fall or winter or spring athletes. This is all year round. We are professionals. We are, world-class athletes. So you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. So, in between fights, I don't blow up to, 190 pounds and, oh, crap, I can't do this. I enjoy myself like any other human being, of course, but, I'm still always in the gym, always learning, always evolving, always getting better, and always getting ready for what's next. And I'm no stranger to short notice phone calls. I've, been in the gym when I got those phone calls, and Duke said, hey, we got this guy next. Hey, this guy pulled out. Hey, you ready? I'm like, let's do this, coach. You don't even ask me if I'm ready. I was born ready. I was made for this, and this is what I want. So if that opportunity presents itself, let's have at it.
All right, well, then I think we can add another nickname to the list. It's not just El Matador. It's not just Overtime. It's Stay Ready, Emmaneul Sanchez.
I like that. Stay ready. That's what's up.
All right. Well, Emmaneul, thank you so much for the time. Anything you want to plug or promote, please go ahead before we close the call.
Just shout out to cryotherapy. It's where I'm at right now. Just getting my therapy and getting ready to rock and roll, keeping me at close to 100% as possible, ready to go rock out and shine. Everyone, please don't forget, your eyes be glued to the TV screen. Don't forget, Spike TV next Friday night, Fight of the Night.
That's right, and tickets probably still available, but not many left. So if you're at the WinStar World Casino and Resort or in the immediate area, get your tickets and be there in person to see Emmaneul Sanchez and Daniel Straus throw down at Bellator 184. Thank you again for the time, Emmaneul. It's always a pleasure.